What's going on, everybody? You're right on time for another ride on the Groove Line with your host, Chris Stevens. Hopefully, you all are doing well this Saturday morning. This is day number 7 of the BMM 30 series. If you're new to the channel, the Groove Line is a music podcast talking about all things past, present, and future in terms of hip hop, jazz, funk, R&B, disco, jazz fusion, house, EDM, all of that good stuff. We get into it all on this channel, but basically with a black music sort of spin, but we're open to other forms, as you can see by the total video I did earlier in this podcast history. But yes, June is Black Music Month. So for 30 days in the month of June, there will be an episode every day talking about an artist, a genre, a producer, an album, a song, a label, you name it, we got it covered. And of course, since today is June 7th, what else would it be but Prince Day? So this episode is going to be all about Prince. And the interesting thing is, on my old podcast, well, actually not my old podcast, but my official YouTube channel, it's what the old people would call, it was what all the old radio DJs would call their personality pages on Facebook or whatever. So my personality YouTube page, my personal YouTube page, I did a couple of episodes last year about Prince, and Prince brings together people from all walks of life. So you're going to hear from my friend Kelly Forkenbrock, who is a public librarian in Iowa and a Pilates instructor, yoga instructor, actually. And my guy, Evan Barnes, who covers the New York Football Giants for Newsday. I have a great time talking Prince with those two folks. And so those are the clips that you're going to see. And those are the ones that we'll be able to discuss after the fact, because I'm going to come back and talk some more about Prince. But first, I'm going to let these clips run, because we're talking, to let you guys know what we're talking about. We're staying in the 80s pretty much. We're talking Purple Rain. We're talking The Vault. We're talking Dirty Mind. We're talking all the things that make Prince at the turn of his superstardom. So very excited to bring this episode to you. So don't go away, but just watch the clips and trust me, you'll enjoy them. Will I come back with some of my Prince favorites? Yeah, I'll come back with some of my Prince favorites just to, close this out and give you guys something else to discuss. But yes, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, tap the notification bell to be notified of all new content, and leave comments as well. The more comments, the better. We have great dialogue in the comments, and the more likes, the more subscriptions, the more people see the channel. So yes, enjoy the day 7 BMM 30 edition of On the Groove Line, which of course is Prince Day. I think what makes the Purple Rain era so interesting is that it wasn't as long as other eras, because Prince went right into Around the World in a Day right after that.
Yeah.
I mean, like literally 1985, it's just bam, okay. All right, y'all like this, but now we are on to Pop Life and a Raspberry Beret. And nobody blinked. That's the crazy part. Like everyone's like, oh wow, I really enjoyed Purple Rain, but this new Prince album is good too.
Yeah, man. Like it's so amazing that Prince didn't stay in a certain era for so long. Like, as somebody, again, this album was so huge. Remember, Thriller, as you mentioned, it came out in 1982. 83, it blows up and becomes the biggest album in the world. 84, it's still on top of the world. And then here comes Prince. So literally, Thriller had 2 years of dominating. Meanwhile, Prince dominates 84 with Purple Rain, goes into 85, gets an Oscar for Best Original Score, wins the some American Music Awards, famously skips out on We Are the World. But by the time a year later, he's already on Raspberry Beret, Pop Life, Around the World Today. It's so fascinating how he just kind of shifted to a new era and a new direction. And people probably wanted Purple Rain 2. And he's like, no, you're not getting Purple Rain 2. Matter of fact, in 2 years after Purple Rain, the Revolution are going to be done by 86, 87. And he's going to give you, after Parade, he turns around and gives you Sign of the Times, which is a radical departure from Purple Rain. There's almost nothing on there that sounds like Purple Rain. But it just shows you how it was short, but literally he became a superstar off of that album in a way where he's on top with Michael. Madonna's coming out in 84. Bruce Springsteen becomes a superstar in 84, or takes a star to another level in 84. And he's right there with all of them. And I thought about this when we had the 35th anniversary of Batman soundtrack. It's funny. Prince starts 1980 with Dirty Mind, and he ends that decade on the soundtrack of one of the biggest movies of the year. Like, he does that. And it just shows you just kind of where Prince went. And 84 is the peak of Prince's superstardom.
Coming back to Purple Rain, just that the movie itself because it's really it's Prince's version of JoJo Dancer Your Life is Calling
Yep.
before JoJo Dancer Your Life is Calling. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if that's where Richard Pryor got the inspiration from.
Yeah. I think that first of all, him not even having a name in the movie, his name is the kid.
Yeah.
And that is how the club manager refers to him as. He does not have a formal name. That whole trajectory, I feel like it was semi autobiographical to an extent. I mean, I feel like when you make a movie like that, you can't help but insert a part of you in it, especially if you're doing the writing, the producing, and the music. If you're
Mhm.
doing all that, you are putting pieces of yourself in that story. But I think what's great about Purple Rain, the movie, is that it rode the balance between being a drama and a musical, like a musical in the purest sense, where for every heightened emotional scene, you had music to accompany it.
Yes.
And I think that that's what was very great about Purple Rain. Another great thing about Purple Rain, the movie, are the scenes from In the Club, where it's shooting looking right at the stage, so you kind of feel like you're in a concert.
But also, and you can appreciate this as a music man, bands competing. Like when bands were so
Mhm.
ultra competitive. Like I kind of miss a little bit of that now. Like granted, hip hop obviously has taken that mantle and still runs with it, as we have seen from the the biggest story of the year in hip hop, which is Kendrick versus Drake. But like the competitiveness, like you go on stage, you try to kill it. They go on stage, they try to kill it. Like that was really cool to see because I missed that element of like the bands, like the black bands who were out there just trying to kill it. And the white bands did the same thing, but like the bands that were just trying to kill it, trying to do it, and they were touring together. Like the time performances are great. The Revolution performances are great. Even when you mentioned Des Dickerson when they did Modern Era, that performance was great. Like just that atmosphere is like, damn, I wish I was in that.
When you think about black bands from probably, because you can start with the Isley Brothers, because really quickly, the Isley Brothers are the greatest band to ever do this. Not black band, not R&B band, period.
There is an argument for it, and I am here for it.
Okay. Yeah, I figured you would, but yeah. Thinking black bands from the space of about, we'll say, probably 1967 when Sly took over with Dance to the Music, probably until the mid 80s, when music started to become a little bit more electro, was like, if you were a band, you had to be great. And I feel like Purple Rain is one of the last vestiges of that, seeing that competitive nature with, Dez's group, with Prince, with the Revolution, and with the time.
And there's, Sister, which is a little suspect. It's some, and this is when we talk about Prince, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Like these are the types of things we have to talk about. And I mean, he's not the first artist to write about underage girls or write about them in that manner. I mean, you have Chuck Berry, James Brown, all of them have done it. But I think that from the Dirty Mind album, I love Head, I love When You Were Mine, Do It All Night. Like that was definitely him stepping into the sex bag, if you will. And it was a bag that he never stepped out of. Every once in a while, like musicology, I know we're really going forward now when I say musicology, but there were moments where his albums weren't saturated with sex, but most of them were. And Dirty Mind was definitely the first of those albums to do so.
Even down to the album cover of him in the blazer and the in the string bikini. It was like, it's so funny because he kind of answers questions on the next album. I mean, of course, the next album is Controversy, and I mean, the opening lines to that song, I just can't believe all the things people say. Am I black or white? Am I straight or gay?
Yes.
Like,
that Controversy album is interesting because it was right when it was just a few years before Purple Rain, before his really acclaimed success, but he was already starting to make noise. He was already starting to get the tongues wagging about what exactly is this kid's deal? Like, what is he trying to do? Is he a soul artist? Is he a rock and roll artist? And when people can't put you in a box, and Prince was an artist who could not be put in a box, they're going to gossip about you. And I think that was the main fuel behind controversy.
Again, 8 years later, it does not seem real. I mean, 2016, I mean, that was a nightmare year. We lost, I mean, aside from what happened in November, we lost a lot of great people that year when you think about it. We lost Maurice White we lost Natalie Cole New Year's Eve going into 2016.
Oh wow.
We lost Maurice White in February.
Mm-hmm.
Rod Temperton died during the summer. One of my personal favorites, Kashif, died on my birthday that year.
Oh wow.
And then in the interim, Prince died on April 21st. So 2016 was the year that a lot of musical icons, said adios.
Mm-hmm.
But Prince is the one we come back to the most because that was the one nobody was ready for.
No, and honestly, like for me, and I was just reading about David Bowie recently, actually last night, if I'm not mistaken, I was reading about David Bowie. David Bowie died in January or February 16, and that hit me hard too, because again, I hold David Bowie and Prince in a very high regard. Bowie died in January 16, but I hold Bowie and Prince in very high categories, guys who were shape-shifting titans of pop culture who also had a very independent underground streak to them, if you will. But man, like, that song took a lot more meaning when you realize Prince was found in the elevator, and it makes you realize how much we lost with that man and what that man did, and how much joy this man had in his music. Like, Prince was such a very serious artist and somebody who was a control freak, but there were moments of just unbridled joy in his music, whether it is happiness, sexual joy, lustful joy. There is an unbridled joy, and Dove's Cry kind of has that rush of adrenaline that gets you going. And it's a perfect intro for the album. It's a perfect intro for the movie. It's just, gosh, I mean, I miss that man, but I also love that song is such a rush of energy.
Yeah. It's very conflicting for me.
Yeah.
That
like, is it a money grab? Is it genuine? Is this what Prince would want?
Right.
And I think that would Prince want, and I had that question too when I visited Paisley Park, but would Prince really want his home turned into like a museum? I don't know. So, and so I think about that, like, would Prince really want this? I think moreover, Prince would still want people to listen to his music, to hear the message in the music, and to still listen to music in general, specifically Black music. So I think if the means justifies the ends, then fine. But then I look at things like the vault and I'm like, like, is this what he wanted?
Hopefully you guys enjoyed those conversations I had with Evan Barnes and Kelly Forkenbrock about Prince, because what's there not to love about Prince? I mean, we miss him very much. It's been 9 years. He would have turned 67 years old today. And our world is a lot less purple and a lot less from a musician standpoint, not having Prince around. But the years that we did get with him felt like it really molded and shaped a lot of us. I mean, we can make the argument. You could always talk about who's a Prince fan versus a Michael Jackson fan, what type of people are Prince fans, what type of people are Michael Jackson fans, or whatever. But regardless of how you feel about either one of those guys, but this is about Prince, and Prince is definitely one of the most important musicians, probably one of the most important cultural figures to ever live. And losing him unexpectedly like we did really hurt, but he left us so much music. He left us so many cultural moments and good times to lean back on, that it would just be disingenuous to wish he were here. Because I mean, yeah, we never want people to die before their time. We're never really prepared for people to die. I don't think any of us are prepared to die, honestly, but losing Prince was just something that hurt a lot of people, myself included. And it just made me that much appreciate his work that much deeper, because we were spoiled. We were spoiled by Prince, even though as reclusive and as secretive and as private as he was, he still gave a lot of himself through nearly 40 years of music. And we should all be grateful for that. And that's why I was glad to just let this be a best of Prince episode with people that I've talked to in the past on different on platforms about Prince, because it's best to hear not just from me, but from other Prince fans as well. And this is something that I'll probably revisit in the future once I get my bearings on this channel, so we can have more guests on, more conversations, which I think you'll enjoy. I'm still trying to get some people for this month. So if you guys know anybody that wants to be a guest or anybody you want to suggest, emails in the description. Feel free. So thank you guys for watching day 7 of the BMM 30 series here on the Groove Line, which of course is Prince Day. Greatly appreciate y'all as always. Like I said, email will be in the description below. So will our Facebook page. Be sure to follow us on Facebook. I'm still trying to decide whether I'm going to open up a Blue Sky, Instagram, or Threads. I don't know yet, but this is where we are for now. You guys will know when something changes. So Sunday, day 8, got a very special song for y'all that could be considered secular, that could be considered spiritual. What song is that? You have to tune in Sunday to find out. So thank y'all for riding aboard the Groove Line with me today. Until the next time we ride, y'all be good or be good at it.